How much stress do you feel in your daily life? Do you feel it soon after waking up, or do your thoughts race and keep you up at night? Stress, anxiety, and sadness are on the rise all over the world. The negative experience index is steadily increasing over the past 9 years. While we can't control what happens to us, we can change the way we respond and how we handle our day-to-day lives. I want to share 6 simple ways to redesign your life so you too can start feeling calmer and happier. The shorter way to do many things is to only do one thing at a time. In hyperproductivity and hustle cultures, multitasking is something that's celebrated because it implies getting more things done within the same amount of time. But research shows otherwise. Multitasking actually makes us inefficient because of having to change our mental gears so often. Think of it like driving a car or riding a bicycle. Having to accelerate and decelerate costs us a lot and wastes energy. Once you stop multitasking, it's not going to feel very productive in the beginning, especially when you're used to doing so many things at the same time. But working on one thing and one thing only will feel much more rewarding once you've accomplished the thing you've set to do. It's done and the list immediately gets smaller. Slowing down your pace means not packing your schedule back to back, so that you're not running from one place or a meeting after another, where a 5 to 10 minute overtime can set the entire day's events on a cascade, feeling like you're having to chase everything and then having to apologize to everyone for the delay. You're high on adrenaline and it can take days to even get back to a relaxed nervous system. Not having a full day planned out feels the same as arriving early at an airport, where all the downtime waiting by your boarding gate is spent calmly. This also means giving yourself room for last-minute changes and unpredictable hiccups, so that you still have enough time and mental capacity to handle what life throws at you. Having some time to simply be and exist, or to do things that you enjoy, will energize you. Eventually, you'll also have the time to make your dreams come to life, because changing your reality requires not only effort, but also energy. Rituals are defined as practices with symbolic meanings that follow a specific sequence. Having rituals and routines can benefit your mental and physical health a lot. Where anxiety often stems from uncertainty, doing the same things in a sequence can give a sense of stability and safety, allowing your mind to calm down as you already know and expect what's coming next. A routine can be as simple or detailed as you want it to be, as long as it isn't the cause of more stress. Recently, I've started rediscovering parts of my culture. As someone who drinks about 4 cups of tea a day, I used to prepare them as fast as possible. I grab a cup, put a tea bag in boiling water, and go about my day. When I read about the rituals that Chinese and Japanese people have around tea, I was inspired by the amount of intentionality involved. From choosing the right teapot that brings out the best of your tea leaves, warming the cups prior to serving, and brewing the tea with the right temperature and time. Every step is a mindful decision to be in the moment and do things the right way. This ritual, along with some others, has become an everyday practice where I get to break free from the fast pace and demands of life. How much does your environment affect your mood? Where I live, the winters can get very rainy, cold, and dark for weeks. And while I've accepted the very pragmatic mentality of Germans in which they say, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing, as soon as I experience a day with sunshine and good weather, I immediately feel joy. And I see that everyone else feels the same way. Your environment is anywhere you spend your time at. It can be as literal as where you live, like your home and your neighborhood, your city and your country, but it can also be where you work, your community, or even where you spend your time online. Going for a vacation somewhere when possible can sometimes offer that much needed temporary escape, but it's not the only solution. You can clear your mind with something as simple as going for a walk, or cleaning up your space for even just 5 minutes a day. But ultimately, Whether at work or in relationships, always know your worth and don't stay too long in places where you feel undervalued. Every single one of us deserves to have respect. I know from experience that it's way easier said than done, but this single decision can change so much of your day-to-day life. They say that we are the average of the 5 people we spend most of our time with. Well, I don't know how much truth there is to that. I believe that the closest people we spend our time with can affect how much stress or calmness we have in our lives. Be close to people who support you when the times get tough, and stay close with the ones who can truly celebrate your life's highest moments with you. As for the people who you can't avoid because of circumstance, do your best to minimize your interactions because your peace is worth protecting. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. There's immense power in letting go. Every single one of us has that power. We just have to lean into it. Sometimes it's wasted energy trying to fight or fix a situation. I'm not talking about giving up, because that's not the same as letting go. Letting go means acknowledging that you've done everything that you can at a given time and place to change your situation, and the rest is out of your hands. It's normal to have negative experiences in life, and they too will pass, just like the experiences you've survived and grown from. In psychology, the term Locus of Control talks about how an individual perceives the cause of what happens in their lives. A person with an external locus of control believes that most things happen by luck, fate, chance, or destiny. Whereas a person with an internal locus of control believes that everything is in their own hands. While it's easier and more empowering to lean on the side of taking control of our lives, too much of anything, even if it's a good thing, can also hurt you when it's off balance. While it's good to take accountability, blaming yourself for things that are actually out of your control and being overly critical with yourself is the opposite of self-love. Emotions also don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can experience seemingly opposing emotions at the same time, like sadness and gratitude, loss and relief, disappointment and empathy, and whatever feelings that come up in any given situation. As soon as you fully embrace the complexity of your emotions, you'll remove the guilt of feeling certain feelings. And with the compassion you give yourself comes a sense of calm. I can never forget the moment I crossed paths with someone during the lowest moments of my life. I was experiencing loss in multiple aspects, and at the gym locker room, a woman approached me and asked me to come to her yoga class. She must have seen the heartache on my face, so she insisted that I come and that she'll find a space for me. She told me that I didn't have to tell the front desk. She invited me to join secretly for free. Something inside told me to take that chance, so I had forgone my plans that morning and joined her class within 15 minutes of the invitation. I don't recall what type of yoga it was, but we spent most of the hour relaxed and focused on our breath. At the end, the instructor asked us to think about 3 things we were grateful for and told us to start or end each day with that exercise. It was hard, but I kept up with it for the next 30 days. I did just that, be grateful for the people in my life, but also for things as simple as having a warm blanket at night. And needless to say, I felt like I was becoming whole again with every expression of gratitude. Being thankful for the things you have in your life is a simple way to be gentle with yourself. It takes less than a minute to practice this every day, yet it makes such a difference. Research has shown that gratitude is associated with happiness and improves overall health. Practicing gratitude is usually saying thanks towards others, thanks in the form of thoughts, words, or expressions like letters or prayers. But being thankful doesn't always require a receiver. You can have gratitude simply for the act of recognizing that something good exists in your life. Reflecting on what you have or what went well during your day is just as powerful and healing. Living a calmer life is possible and attainable. While we can't stop everyday stresses from coming at us, we get to decide how it will affect us and whether we would give it the power to disrupt our peace. If you liked this video or found it useful, please give it a like or subscribe to my channel so that I can reach others who may benefit from it too. As always, thank you for being here, and I wish you a cozy and calm day.